The team at Tozer Seeds has spent the last 5 years developing 170 different varieties of leek, producing seeds that will be resistant to disease. They will eventually account for 15% of the UK's leek produce, but delays with distribution mean they might now miss their window for getting into the ground. A shortage of truck drivers is impacting businesses up and down the country.
It's going to cause enormous issues for us. Our customers obviously need it in time to sow, and if they miss their sowing windows, that will mean the crops are later. If the crops are later, that may basically cause problems with their supermarket contracts, and ultimately that means that products that are due to be on the shelf sometime in the future may not be.
Britain is short around 100,000 heavy goods vehicle drivers, according to the Road Haulage Association. A combination of Brexit, COVID-19, lessons and tests missed because of the pandemic, and a profession failing to lure new recruits has created the perfect storm.
We've been calling up agencies. I mean, our bosses have been called up at least 5. You have a wait for agency drivers. Can't get them for love and money.
As a result, supermarkets are warning of empty shelves. School meals are being delayed, which could force schools to close when they've just reopened. And rubbish collections are being missed. One of Britain's biggest food companies has asked the government to consider using the army to distribute goods to keep supply chains from collapse.
If we're going to switch down the surfaces that they're going to make.
Kate Lester started Diamond Logistics almost 30 years ago. She says shelves will be empty by Christmas unless the government steps in.
So even in a warehouse such as this, normally by this time of year you'd expect to see it a lot more filled, and that's because of supply chain challenges. Ultimately speaking, if lorries aren't able to refill fulfilment centres such as this, then we're not able to sell those goods on bound. And that means that a variety of people throughout the supply chain suffer. The e-commerce companies, often retail businesses that have pivoted to e-commerce to stay alive during this very tricky time, are unable to replenish their goods.
The logistics industry is urging the government to issue European HGV drivers with temporary work visas, but the government has refused, saying firms must find domestic drivers instead. But there is no pool of qualified drivers in the UK just sitting around, and peak delivery season is just around the corner. Charlie Angela, Al Jazeera, Surrey.